the previous one as well. We will, of course, monitor the 80th anniversary of that attack on Hiroshima and bring you all of the updates from that memorial event. Moving on now to North America, and Texas Governor Greg Abbott has threatened to arrest Democratic lawmakers who fled the state to block a Republican-backed redistricting plan. Over 50 Democrats left Texas for states like Illinois and New York to deny Republicans the quorum needed to pass the plan. The redistricting aims to redraw congressional districts and could help Republicans gain up to 5 House seats in next year's midterms, supported by President Donald Trump. Abbott ordered the Texas Department of Public Safety to locate and return absent lawmakers, but said warrants only apply within Texas. He also warned that funding absent members' fines could lead to bribery charges. Meanwhile, California Governor Gavin Newsom vowed to fight fire with fire, preparing a mid-decade redistricting plan to counter Texas Republicans if the redistricting proceeds. The standoff continues as Texas's special legislative session remains in progress. Let's listen in to what Gavin Newsom had to say.
The proposal that we're advancing with the legislature has a trigger only if they move forward to dismantling the protocols that are well established. Would the state of California move forward in kind, fighting, yes, fire with fire? So in that light, I believe there's consistency.
Well, joining us on this update is Ross Feingold, a political analyst, joining us live from Taipei, Taiwan. As always, Ross, a pleasure to have you on the programme. Could you provide some context on why this redistricting is so key and why it's been brought to the fore now?
The context is pretty straightforward. The Republicans in the House of Representatives barely have a majority. There's a few open seats and people don't always show up, but basically they're looking on most votes, they're looking at a 3-seat to 5-seat majority. So it's very razor thin. And also President Trump wants them to do it. President Trump has been very outspoken in calling on Texas to do this. And Republicans at the federal or the state level are very responsive to President Trump's requests. So the state legislature and the governor are moving ahead. And also they do have a large majority. So putting aside the quorum issue, if the quorum issue is resolved, they could easily pass this. So another reason why they're doing it is frankly, it's because they can.
Yes. Ross, how do you react to the comments from Gavin Newsom?
It's understandable that Democrats are going to look to have some kind of substantive response. You know, within the Democrat Party or among Democratic pundits or supporters, there's been long-running criticism that they don't fight back hard enough when Republicans take significant actions to disadvantage Democrats or Democrat political priorities. So it's not a surprise that there is a groundswell of support among Democratic politicians for certain states like New York, Illinois, and California to do this. And then, of course, there's the 2028 factor, which is really the high likelihood as of this moment that Gavin Newsom is going to enter the Democratic primary for the presidential nomination.
Yes, Ross, on the surface, this could look like more, not necessarily chaos, but at least a lack of status quo in American politics. Do you see it like that, or is there something else at play here?
That's just the current era that we're living in. People are, again, whether it's at the federal level or the state level, if you have power, you use it. Democrat governors in states with large Democrat majorities in the state legislatures also wield power in a similar fashion. At the federal level, obviously, President Trump, in his 6 months in office, has really taken executive power in new directions, and he's had some significant court success with the way that he has wielded executive authority. He's had some defeats as well, but generally he's been successful in creating a new model for presidential authority. And similarly, within the party, within the Republican Party, his word is really what goes. So if he says do something, then again, Republicans at the federal and the state level are going to follow his instruction.
Ross, as we bring an end to this discussion, of course, Democrats that have fled the state of Texas, there have been potential talks of bribery charges if fines are paid by other parties. Does this risk escalation?
Certainly, if the prosecutors in Texas were to bring such charges, it would certainly be an escalatory move, and then it would wind up in the courts. And really, there's no way to know how the courts would rule on that. I mean, it's a bit of a novel charge to say that is bribery, but a judge might or appellate courts might uphold that conviction. So it's certainly possible that these Democrats who have fled Texas, if they do seek third-party financial support, they might be facing bribery charges. In the current environment, if the Texas prosecutors were to pursue those charges, it would definitely not be a surprise.
Ross, as always, a pleasure to have you on the programme. Thank you ever so much for that excellent insights on that topic. It will be a discussion we continue